Hey there, Virgo. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm doing your December 2018 tarot reading. Thanks for joining me. Happy holidays. If you're looking for gifts this year, gifting a tarot reading or astrology reading from your favorite reader is a great idea. Most people can't justify ooh, you guys have some nice cards. Justify dropping money for a tarot reading or an astrology reading, but they make a great gift. Wow. That just was out in the same place for Pisces. So, a lot of people, if this Six of Swords has shown up too. So at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords. This is messages, communications, the internet, discussing things with people. This is the after tarot, so it's the scene like after the traditional Rider-Waite picture. So I was just checking it out. There are two people coming. Yeah, so this can be online things. Maybe you are thinking of starting an online business, doing online dating, putting yourself out there in some way. And there are definitely some love cards on the table. So the card in the middle that touches every other card is the Two of Cups. So this is just, the ultimate love card, the ultimate romance, finding a significant other. It doesn't have to be. It can be just a great partnership. But this is like emotionally supporting each other, a true love connection, right smack in the middle. You have the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups. So, to me, this is sort of like online dating or just dating in general, putting yourself out there, maybe telling your friends, hey, I'm looking if you're looking. For those of you that are already coupled, we have the marriage card. So some of you could be getting engaged. But this is a milestone card. So this is any sort of telling if you're with someone. This could be a first date. This could be telling someone you love them or them telling you they love you for the first time, moving in together, getting engaged, getting married, living together, buying a house together, starting a family. We do have the Empress. So definitely could be you hear about a baby or find out you're pregnant or your significant other's pregnant. All those types of good things are coming. There is, for those of you, there is the Five of Cups. So some of you have a relationship in the past, either in the recent past or you're still, what's the word I want to say? Cautious about relationships. And still thinking, well, they don't work out. They don't work out. They don't work out. So you're going to do some soul searching around that and let that go so that you're able to welcome in new opportunities because, you don't want to, introduce this whole storyline into a new relationship that person had nothing to do with. So really looking at this and being like, okay, am I still carrying around issues? And if so, I need to let those go. And you do have the meditation, you're thinking about it. You're taking some time to really prepare yourself and make sure that you're ready and open for this new relationship. And you definitely are. Some of you did leave, this relationship that in the past you left a very difficult relationship. So there is definitely some residual things to work through or to be very aware that they don't creep into this new relationship with this new person that's completely fresh and different from your previous relationships. And just sometimes just thinking about that, like saying, I need to make sure that I'm not, when that person does such and such, it's not triggering me. And I'm thinking about what happened before. And that just because this person's doing this, I mean, yeah, there could be red flags, but we have really positive cards here. So don't ignore red flags, but don't also add all sorts of other things uh, to the story that are not part of this storyline. And you do have this. I mean, this is like getting it. Oh wow, you have the knight, the page, the knight, and the two of cups. So this is, someone asking you out. This is just a real change in your emotions. So some of you, if you haven't met someone already, you're going to get swept off your feet. And this is definitely like the real deal, like a sustainable relationship. Someone that, you know, you can be with, start a family with if that's what you guys choose, whatever your together your idea of a relationship is, like that's what's happening. It's fun. I just realized that, and it started with the Hermit. So anyone who's been closed off and single for a long time, watch out. Just saying, this is your card too. But maybe also in this relationship, you also are allowed to be the hermit. You know what I mean? You're not forced to, you're allowed to be an introvert. You're not forced to, the other person allows you to be your true nature and your authentic. They don't try to change you, and you don't try to change the other person. Again, that doesn't mean you tolerate bad behavior, but you're realizing like, no, this is not, this is a good person, and they are who they are, and I need to love them for that, and they need to love me for who I am. And in the past, I've tried to change people, or I've tried to um, I've resented them for things I didn't communicate. So communicating in a different way in relationships. And even if you're in a relationship already, you can at any time stop adding stuff to the story or stop hanging on to things and really assessing, like, is this a good person or not? Is this a toxic person or not? If it is a toxic person and there are red flags, you leave. You're done. You're out of there. If it's not, you take some time to look at your behavior in the relationship. Again, am I introducing things that aren't there? Am I keeping score? Am I wishing they would change something that I'm not even verbalizing? Or am I hoping they're going to change when it's just something that they've never said they were going to change, that is just something different. It's not like negative, it's just different than how you do it. Can you find a way to deal with it? So even having that conversation with them, really communicating, this bottom of the deck card to me also touches all the other cards. It's this underlying energy of really communicating, and it's going to bring you closer together. Sometimes it can be hard to have these difficult conversations because you're like, oh my God, if I tell them, if they leave their underwear on the floor one more time, they're going to leave me. Whereas if you have that conversation, maybe you realize you leaving the toothpaste tube off the toothpaste drives them absolutely crazy. And so maybe you can say, hey, I'll make sure I do that. I'm sorry that bothers you. And they'll be like, okay, I can really make sure and try to make that change because I know it bothers you. And it's like, wow, was it that easy? Or you can be like, having, I don't know, like sweeping the garage every day is just not important to me. And they may be like, well, such and such just isn't important to me. It's like, okay, well then each of us will just deal with that and not ever expect the other person to deal with it. So just whatever it is, however absurd it may seem, it's these weird things can, like, can just eat away at the relationship. So bringing, either finding new love or coming closer together this month, because you're using your words like an adult. Like, who knew, right? Um, and appreciating the other person. You know what's interesting? You always hear that opposites attract. I was watching Deborah Silverman, the astrologer, and she's a psychologist. I particularly like that. And someone asked her what signs get along the best. And she's like, people who get along the best are the people who are most similar. She's like, I know that's not what you hear. You hear opposites attract, but after a while, those things that are opposite that seemed interesting become annoying and what really bother you. So that's kind of, I don't know, what just made me think of that. Whatever, something, it came to my mind for some reason. But yeah, so enjoy this really, really happy month. It looks like it's going to be for you. And if you are, single and alone and not meeting people, you can still do all this work and think about all these things that we were just talking about now, so that when someone does come into your life, you've done a lot of the hard work already. Wouldn't that be great?